We're on to the semifinals of the PLL Championship Series. First of two games set for this Sunday at the St. James in Springfield, Virginia. The Boston Cannons will take on the California Redwoods. The winner of this game moves on to Monday's championship. Game 2 today will feature the Philadelphia Water Dogs, the #1 seed, and the only team to go 3-0 in round robin play. Philly will take on the Utah Archers. Good afternoon, Anish, Shroff, Ryan Boyle. Dana Boyle will be with us in just a moment. Wednesday night, opening night, first game, Cannons, Redwoods. It's been the best game of this championship series. We see it again today.
Unbelievable, and for Redwoods to win that one, you're like, okay, here come the Redwoods. Then they put up 14 against Water Dogs, like, eh. And then they squeak one out against Archers, eh. You're like, what Redwoods team are we going to see today? Meanwhile, Cannons flying around offensively, putting up video game numbers, and then just get the doors blown off them against Water Dogs last night. How quickly can they bounce back without a lot of rest?
Yeah, big questions for both of these teams. Marcus Holman in that game on Wednesday night went for 9 points against California.
9 points, 3 2-pointers. He really used his experience last year from the championship series and carried that over. He knows how to execute within this format, and he brings such an array of shots. You see the gorgeous little twister there. He really makes their offense work. He's at the top of the leaderboard in terms of the Golden Stick Award winner. Meanwhile, Rob Pennell for Redwoods, he is the consummate quarterback on their offense. 7 points against Boston just a few days ago. He can operate from behind the cage and distribute. He can create his own shot. He can play on both the right and left sides. He's a legend for a reason.
And Romar Dennis has had the knack for the late game heroics.
He has stepped up when they needed him most. The issue, Anish, is consistency throughout the game. Too often, he has tried to play hero ball, dodging through too many guys and taking low-angle shots. He's shooting pretty pathetically in terms of just 17% from 2, whereas last year he had 15. You compare and contrast that, it's just not enough.
He was unstoppable a year ago. The numbers down, but he has cashed in overtime game winners in both of California's wins.
Yeah, we talked about Dennis and Pennell. Montgomery has been another guy that's had some moments. He's that two-way midfielder that really this tailor-made for this format. Can they get more productivity out of him? And speaking of productivity, Jules Henningberg, he just needs the ball more. He just hasn't gotten the ball, and when he does, too much guys crowding his airspace. Get him the ball, let him cook.
Meanwhile, for the Cannons, Holman in contention for the Golden Stick this year. Asher Nolting, 3rd in this champ series in assists.
There's beautiful chemistry of these 3 guys on that right side. The 2-man game between Holman and Nolting is a staple of their offense, and Drenner brings a little something of everything to the table. The surprise of the tournament for me, for Boston, has been Matt Campbell. His range, 5 2-pointers. He is 4th in terms of the Golden Stick Award. He's been fantastic, and Colin Kirst is going to go the distance today.
Ethan Rawle and Rob Pennell ready to face off. We only face off once per quarter. Field size is about 3/4 the size of a PLL field. 8-minute quarters, 30-second shot clock. This is triple espresso Red Bull Lacrosse.
Match up. Park, you're on 3 here.
And one of the big rule differences, there is no shot backup. If you shoot it out of bounds, it belongs to the other team. Asher Nolting with the first tally. Kelly the outlet. Here's Kevin Rogers. Breakaway and a save by Kirst.
And what a microcosm from a goalie play in 2 shots. Kelly gives up the 2-pointer to Nolting, who coming into today hadn't had one all tournament long, and then Kirst bails out. The Cannons in transition in that one-on-one save.
Nolting again, beat up by Rogers. Using that big frame of his. Nolting rolls back off the stick of Kelly. So last touch, Kelly, it will stay with Boston.
Stay in the middle here, stay in the middle here. Great. Left foot.
Ryan Drenner out to Marcus Holman.
Slip pick coming.
Left foot here. Okay, wait, get up, Rogers!
Got Rob Pennell defending Holman behind. Drenner gets free down the alley. Kelly sends it back, and Pennell able to retrieve.
And normally Drenner cashes in on those, shooting 62% coming into today. But that's that three-headed monster on the right side that you got to deal with going against the Cannons.
Here comes Romar Dennis, fires a two. His shot altered, and it goes back to the Cannons. If Romar Dennis plays well over these next two games, the Redwoods could be the last team standing.
And it's been his shooting, 25% from one-point range and 17% from two, just not good enough to get the job done.
Here's Matt Campbell, who had 8 points against California on Wednesday night. Campbell coming off a strong rookie season in the PLL. Nolting, face dodge, shot. Kelly the save. Kavanaugh is there for the rebound.
Credit Nolting with a Kobe assist there. But Redwoods need a response here. You got Henningberg and Pinnell out there.
Henningberg picked up by Rawl, and Henningberg gets the Redwoods on the board. Rawl's been a pest defensively, leading all players in caused turnovers, which is his MO.
But that's what we talked about in the open. There you saw Henningberg get the favorable matchup with space. Plenty of room to operate.
A crank in the score by Matt Campbell. And that's a two.
You gotta know the scout. You gotta step out on the shooters there.
Nakai Montgomery out of the substitution box. Out there with Teflon, Dennis. Ryan Tierney's got it now. Didn't play a whole lot yesterday. He's a little banged up. Looking to feed inside. Teflon couldn't find it. Holman picks it up. Josh Stout, former Utah Ute, where he played for Brian Holman. And his current teammates, Adam Gittleman and Marcus Holman, were his assistants there. Drenner setting the pick for Nolting. Feed is offline.
Yeah, he had him. He needs to put a little bit more touch on that, allowing Drenner to run into the pass.
There's Perkovic running downhill. Gets down to the alley, cursed to his knees for the stop.
A zero pass possession for Redwoods. That's something that they really stress.
Rob, you gotta go to the box, Rob.
Multiple passes within the same offensive possession. Can they actually execute it? You know John Grant Jr.'s got to be not shaking his head, but
Holman's shot is blocked. He retrieves, shot clock at 5. Drenner to Nolting, that's a 1, and it's off target.
RB, to your point, he was absolutely shaking his head in disappointment. It seems like they're just not listening to the game plan that's being put in place. He's not saying anything that's earth-shattering. It's move the ball. Move the ball, move the defense.
Well, it's also completely deflating if you're an offensive guy running on the field and there's no passes and a shot. You're like, okay, do I just run back on D now?
Campbell's shot saved by Kelly, who's seeing it better. Outlet to Rogers. Breakaway again. Rogers goes low. This time, he gets the best of Kirst.
We had a Kevin Rogers cheering section the other night. Seems like we got a little carryover again today.
They played his college ball at High Point, but before that, Division III Lynchburg, which is in Virginia. Drenner gets to the middle. Kelly another save. That's 6 already for one of the Team USA goalies last summer in San Diego. Now here comes Dennis. Henningberg thought about it too, gives it back to Dennis. He'll launch too high, and again, Ryan, to your point, although shots are coming without the Redwoods getting into their offense.
Yeah, just super low angle there, stick to the outside. You still had 11 seconds left on the clock. Plenty of time to re-attack there, increase your angle.
Here comes Nolting off to a strong start. Pinnell and Holman got tangled. Kavanaugh the crank. Kelly save number 7.
Kelly is keeping the Redwoods in. I mean, that's a quality look directly in front of the cage. Full 6x6 to look at.
Pinnell looking for a cutting Rogers. Able to recover. Chased by Pat Aslanyan. Now Nakai Montgomery against Bubba Fairman. Great split dodge. Drives to the cage. Body save Kirst. And a flag down as Montgomery crashed into the net. Matty Palem's back.
Foul. Number 1, illegal, or excuse me, unnecessary roughness, body check from behind and late.
You're gonna see as Montgomery goes underneath here, clearly after the shot, Holman gives him that push and then goes barreling into the goal. Watch the PLL skips. You got Henningberg and Perkovic on those low bases.
And watch the shot clock. Minute power play. You can go 2 for 1 here. That's been a strategy by these teams. Henningberg on the doorstep. PLL looks off Dennis. That's a hard shot by Tierney. Rebound comes right back to Romar. Perkovic, that's happened a lot with Sergio over these last few days.
He was looking to shoot it before he had secured the catch. Whoa, boy. Almost an own goal there. But Perkovic, he wanted to roll up to create more of an outside shot, whereas if he stays tight to the crease, that allows the skip by PLL.
Cannon's short-handed, but there is a challenge flag down.
Bar down. I think that went in. I think that was a goal on that possession. Who shot it? Okay. Previous possession, a shot was ruled no goal. The Redwoods are challenging that ruling.
So coaches, when they challenge, they are limited to challenging if it's a goal or a no goal. Coaches get 1 challenge per half. If successful, you retain that challenge. Have to have a timeout to challenge. Overtime in the last 15 seconds of regulation. All reviews come from the officials.
Don't look at him. I know everything.
And Holman's trying to get a clarification on the timing of things. Because the Redwoods got the ball back, turned the ball over. But you had to challenge until the completion of that following possession. And what they're claiming is that Tierney shot went bar down, crossed the goal line, and then the trajectory or backspin, then took it towards the midline. Not even.
I don't think that's close.
No.
It's the crossbar. It never crosses the goal line. This should be a quick and easy review. Yeah, you saw the expression there by Matt Palem.
A picture's worth 1,000 words. That facial expression was all we needed.
After review, call was correct. No goal. Cannons have the ball.
So the Redwoods will be charged a timeout. They cannot challenge again in this half.
And I know referees can't celebrate, but you know, like every ref is doing like an internal fist bump. Like, we got it right. We got it right.
They've been in the crosshairs since the Maryland-Syracuse game ended last night. A lot of folks in Central New York, how do I say this politely, don't understand the goal mouth and the ruling. It was the right call.
I'm just thankful we don't have a goal mouth here.
Yeah, there's no goal mouth here. That was the right call. You can hate the rule.
Yes.
But that's the right call.
Got to 10.
14. 14, Josh.
So 14 on the shot clock, 11 on the power
you look
play.
at it on there? Okay.
So that's
correct. Here we go.
And it will be Cannon's ball when we restart.
21 on the shot clock, excuse me. So they should be able to run out the remainder of this penalty.
Nolting finding Drenner. Oh, what a play. Asher to Drenner, shorthanded.
And I just didn't like the approach by Redwoods. You try to double team the ball on Asher Nolting. 9 times out of 10, that does not create a turnover. It creates a goal somewhere else. They either split the double team, or in that case, Drenner just wins a one-on-one matchup off ball.
Tevlin to Pinnell, bouncer, and Rob Pinnell finds the back of the net. He had 6 assists for the championship series entering play at 7 points against the Cannons on Wednesday.
Like, what were you going to do? You were going to double team Asher Knowlton with 2 short sticks, create a turnover, and score before the penalty expired? Like, come on.
A guy who's used to being doubled when one of them's a pole.
Give me a break.
Cannons have a 3-goal lead, and it could be a lot more if not for the play of number 94, Jack Kelly. Kelly 7 for 11 in cage. Here's Henningberg. You brought it up, Ryan. They got to give him room to operate. It's been congested a little too often. Perkovic doubled. Gives it up. Montgomery behind the back. Cursed the save. Can't find it. Long landed in the crease. And the first quarter comes to an end. Jack Kelly keeping this close for California.
7 saves. A good amount of those directly in front of the cage. Normally teams are cashing in on them. He is keeping California in this. Does Pinnell and company, can they get back on track? Not enough shots on cage heading into the second.
Easily.
And pretty good technique. I mean, right there, the clamp, the rotation, the defensive exit.
2 for 2 today. There's Tevlin. Hounded by Rawl and Fairman. And we get a whistle.
Did they call a timeout? What do we got here?
I didn't see a timeout called. I'm not sure what the whistle was for.
You could see Rawl kind of hunting down Tevlin.
Rogers misfires on the pass to Tevlin. Stout ambles across the midfield line. First recruit for Brian Holman at Utah. Now Matt Campbell, an all-star as a PLL rookie. Matt Cavanaugh, former standout at Notre Dame. Campbell working on Tevlin. Campbell gets to the right hand, and it's 7-3.
He's such a difficult cover given his two-handedness. He tried to get to the middle with his left hand.
Rogers to a cutting. Henningberg tiptoes the crease. Oh, the balance, the body control by Jules.
What nifty footwork by Henningberg. Tiptoeing around the crease. How did he stay out of there? And then the ability to throw a fake or two, and maybe he did step in the crease as we get a challenge flag.
Brian Holman wants Matty Palem to look at that to see if Henningberg did step in the crease before the shot was released.
The Redwoods is being challenged by the Cannons as a crease violation.
So what you're looking for here, did Henningberg release the ball and did it cross the goal line before he steps in the crease? The call on the field, remember, was a goal. Where's the ball when he lands? I think that's good.
I think so too, and he tiptoed along the line. I saw green between his foot and the crease.
And there's nothing indisputable from that first angle to overturn the call. Now does his foot step on the line? Is it conclusive enough?
Yeah.
I think you need something a little more conclusive. Maybe we can zoom in. Right here.
Yeah, that's the one where
I'm just not sure that angle tells you decisively.
Yeah. That's the initial of where I thought there was green between his foot and the crease.
That play that we had before. I see green sliver.
Ryan, I have not seen anything that would overturn the call. That's one where if it was called no goal, probably stands as well.
One more time over here.
And we haven't had a lot of challenges to date, Anish.
After review, goal stands.
Not confirmed, stands.
Come on, Bill. Bill,
So no fist pump by the refs, or you think that gets a ref fist pump too?
I think that's where you stay neutral. That's we got that one right. Possibly, probably, maybe.
Right foot next.
You don't want to get too cocky. Knowlting to Kavanaugh, turned away by Kelly. It will stay. Nope. It was last touch, Boston.
That must have hit a Cannons player on the way to the cage.
Ooh, that was a good idea. Hanningberg was cutting, had a clear path.
Second time that Hanningberg has won the sprint out from the sub game. You love the energy that he's playing with.
Your ball, Kev. Line.
Fairman spins back around to his left, and Bubba with his first goal of the game.
And displaying some great strength on that, because Tevlin got a piece of that on the trail check.
With the Redwoods on offense, we have to see more connectivity, more chemistry. Here comes Dennis. That's a blast. A Hadouken from Romar Dennis. 8-6, that's a two-pointer, his fourth two in this championship series.
Down the left alley, stick to the outside. He gets Curse guessing a little bit. You can see him drop his stick there.
Rob, you're going.
Knowlting bodies up Montgomery. Campbell steps into one. The answer with the two at the other end.
I love that look with Knowlting.
Let's see if Romar's feeling it. Rawl defending Romar Dennis. Holman came over to hedge. Now Perkovic. Spins it back. Tevlin. Over to the crease. Tierney takes the extra step.
And if they can get some goals and some quality minutes from Tierney, that's a huge win.
This could be a live ball turnover, middle of the field. And Dennis could not scoop it. It goes back to Boston.
High IQ play by Tevlin just to create that scramble play.
Matt Kavanaugh dunks it home. Both teams have alternated the last 13 goals. Kai Montgomery working on Chris Aslanyan, trying to get free. Hanningberg from goal line extended. There's the well-timed double. That was Pat Aslanyan who knocked it away, and we get a penalty marker.
Same thing.
Flags on opposite ends here. 2 penalties.
1 minute slash.
So that's Pat Aslanyan. That's a slash.
Yeah, that's a 2x4 to the back of Hanningberg. Assistant coach Brody Merrill was none too pleased with that call.
Dennis to Perkovic, they play catch. There's Pinnell. Wanted Hanningberg on the inside, who couldn't handle the feed. And then Hanningberg got hit by Stout. Stout and Tierney jawing at each other. Officials getting in there. Now Hanningberg and Stout get into it. A little shove from Tierney. That calls for another flag. And tension starting to heat. Matt Palin trying to get both teams to the respective sidelines.
Not at all.
Now, we haven't had a full-on Donnybrook yet this weekend at the St. James. We got close.
2 fouls on the play. Cannons number 7, 1 minute, unnecessary roughness, late hit. Then we have a dead ball foul on Redwoods number 7, unsportsmanlike conduct. They both serve 1 minute full time. Because of the dead ball foul, it'll be Cannon's ball that way.
And this is where you got to be more disciplined if you're Henningberg. Once Stout came in with the hit, clearly late. Helmet down, helmet to helmet. That's a foul, right? That's a foul. They throw the flag there after the play. And that's not much, but when you retaliate, they're gonna call it. You got the penalty.
Yeah, Tierney gave him a little push, then Henningberg came over. Nolting, I couldn't tell if he was getting involved or trying to play peacemaker.
And this is where, not a good trade if you're Redwoods, right? Henningberg for Stout, not a good trade.
Oh, it's gonna be 4-on-3 here. And with the Cannons with the ball, 3-on-4.
And this time you could see Romar just floating right there in the middle. He's the free extra double team. That's the strategy I hope they employed last time.
Stay out on him.
A lot of space. Drenner misses the cage. 6 seconds left on this 4-on-3. Here comes Dennis. Over to Perkovic. Back to Romar. Now it's 4-on-4. Perkovic a missile. It'll stay with the Redwoods. Last touch by the Cannons.
A lot of green out there.
Let's see if Pinnell feasts.
Sit, you're good, sit.
Marked by Pattis Lanyon.
Alone, island.
Pinnell from X. Comes around the cage, question mark. Finds a cutter to Tevlin for the goal. That was the patented question mark, and this time the feed.
And you feel like they can get a quality look like that every time Pinnell operates behind the cage. So patient that dodge, just kind of waiting for the double team to come before spotting Tevlin, who just broke his stick. He could stay on and play without it.
Tevlin without a stick. Now he's got to guard Nolting without a stick. Asher draws the double. Ball hits the turf. Scooped up by Drenner. Shot clock violation. Oh, it hit somebody. Nolting puts it on, and he missed.
Yeah, I think they said Kelly got a piece of that, which is why they got the fresh shot clock.
Kelly has not made a stop in the second quarter. He was 7 for 11 in that first quarter. Here's Kyle Long, added to the roster due to injuries to Garrett Epple and Ricky Miezon. Dennis from 2. Kirst got his stick on it. Boy, there is very little that's subtle about Romar Dennis's game.
Well, he did a good job there getting to the middle to increase his angle.
Rogers denied the corner by Fairman. Dennis again. On Rawl. Here's the double. Montgomery had nothing on it. Rogers on the inside. Big save by Colin Kirst. Rogers gets it back. Fresh 30.
So hard to defend these extra long possessions.
Henningberg at 2, didn't have enough mustard on it, turned away by Kirst. You look at the scoreboard, feels like the Cannons have controlled this game. They've been the better team so far. Redwoods hit a 2-pointer here. Hey, you got a 1-point game.
And this is where the Cannons, you would use a timeout to maybe stop and catch your breath, but because they lost that challenge, they don't have that luxury.
They take it away from Rogers. Fairman ahead of the pack, and he slips it by.
You turn the ball over in front of the cage, instant transition. Credit the Cannons for digging deep on that defensive possession.
Dennis over to Perkovic, who has trouble with the pass. There's a low pass, but boy, we've seen that a lot with Sergio Perkovic.
Yeah, this look, I was trying to get in earlier. Nolting attacking from behind the cage. If anybody kind of hedges down, you've got a bevy of shooters, most notably Holman and Campbell.
Shot clock at 7. Here comes Drenner, no angle. Kavanaugh, save Kelly. Montgomery off the ground, up ahead to Pinnell. Pinballs off of Holman. I think he might have almost withheld it. Pinnell goes down. He was limping earlier in the game, and Pinnell is still down at the other end. Numbers for the Cannons, final 10 seconds. Holman to Nolting. Gets closer, Nolting on the inside. Shot fake and a score. 4 seconds. Pinnell hobbles off the field. Kelly up ahead to Perkovic. Back to Montgomery. He's got to put it on cage. He took too long. It went in. It doesn't count. Rob Pinnell, meanwhile, crunched over on the sideline for the Redwoods.
You can see Aslanyan comes from the bench. That check right there, dislodging the ball. And then the hit by Holman. Tough stretch for the Redwoods there.
Rob Pinnell right now is having trouble walking to the locker room. He took a few steps, hunched over again, and he's having trouble moving. One of the great players of all time, one of the great pro players we've seen. And right now, just the journey from the field to the locker room is a challenge. I'll be honest, Ryan, I'll be surprised if he's in the game in the second half.
And the Redwoods are already playing short-handed down Miezon and Epple. We mentioned Tierney being a little bit banged up.
Lacrosse. He's been a pretty good face-off guy in this championship series. Now 3 for 3 today and above 70%. He can't catch a break. He goes down again and is limping off the field right away. Josh Stout on the fast break, and Pinnell again goes right to the trainer. That is not a guy who is replaceable. And he's got his head down.
And just a really tough stretch for Redwoods. You kind of referenced it. It was 11-8.
Dennis didn't have the angle. Kirst makes the stop.
11-8. Cannons score 2. Montgomery isn't aware of the clock. He shoots that 2 after the buzzer, and Pinnell goes down. Just super tough stretch for the Redwoods.
Matt Campbell wants patience.
Lefty, step out.
Kavanaugh, left hand free, bouncer wide.
And those are the shots that you gotta put on net. And Barry Kavanaugh, just 29% shooting coming into today. Those are quality looks right in front of the cage.
Tevlin sprints past Stout. Tierney to Long. That's taken away. Now those are the opportunities. If you're the Redwoods, you got to cash in. Aslanyan.
Shooter.
Now Holman.
And maybe
turnovers.
maybe one too many passes for Long there.
You're good, just chill. Lefty. Lefty.
Pinnell still on the bench, and they're still working on that right leg as Campbell gets in close and beats Troutner.
Yeah, beautiful little two-man game chemistry between him and Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh set an up pick. Campbell went underneath, got the switch that he wanted, and then as they went to re-pick, Campbell caught his defender cheating upfield.
Tierney with a high bouncer from 2. Dana, you're right behind the Redwoods bench. What are you seeing with Rob Pinnell?
Yeah, initially in that first half, it was the left knee that got hit with the stick, and now you can see the athletic trainer massaging the right quad IT band area, so other side of the leg, right side this time.
That last Redwoods offensive set, that was the look that I was referencing. Henningberger, Pinnell behind, and then just have your two-point shooters littered around the arc.
Holman, that is his 6th 2 of this championship series, the most of any player.
Beautiful little flip there by Nolting with his big body, then sets a screen so Holman can catch and deliver that shot around a huge screen. Tough to read if you're Troutner.
Who did you compare Nolting to, Jokic?
Well, there was the Magic Johnson versus Jokic. I went right to the source. I said, what do you think? He's like, I'm from Denver. I'm a Nuggets fan.
Rogers shot saved. Jokic it is.
But that's the dribble handoff, right? That's the dribble handoff equivalent.
Alone, Pat. Alone.
Henningberg, goal line extended. Up top, Tevlin steps into one, saved by Kirst. 11 saves by Kirst. Henningberg has his stick raked away.
Match up, match up.
Yeah, you can't shoot at a goalie's feet there.
Chris Aslanyan, met by Tevlin. Skip to Drenner. Down the alley, runs out of room, turns back. Rogers lost his stick. Nolting against Dennis. It's a lot of mass. Nolting feeding Kavanaugh off his stick. It comes to Dennis.
Now you can get out and run, push this.
And Dennis looking back. Perkovic for two. How about the shot alteration? Marcus Holman flying in late.
Great closeout by Holman. You love the energy that he plays with. You can see as Perkovic winds up, Holman closes out and actually jumps into the airspace.
Shot clock violation. You talk about taking on a risk. Sergio Perkovic loading up and you throw your body into it. Rob Pennell jogging back in for the Redwoods. Banged up knee, banged up quad, hopping around. Long trying to stay with Drenner.
And Redwoods, they need a little spark here. You're down 7.
Where does it come from?
If Pennell's out there, you might as well get him the ball. Montgomery, like we haven't called his name all that much today.
Montgomery, the blow by, behind the cage, Pennell. Up top, Henningberg, quick feed to Long. Right back to Pennell, and he missed him. And again, you watch Rob Pennell move as he comes off the field. Just, he is not close to 100%, it's obvious.
Yeah, I think Montgomery, they need a spark play. They need a defense to offense, kind of breakaway, two-pointer.
Aslanian machetes through the D. Troutner the save. Up ahead, here comes Nikai. Cranks a two, Kirst sends it back.
That was it. That was...
Backside, Campbell.
Transition 2, you're okay with that shot?
I am, yeah, just because
Perkovic, and he stopped and in the crease.
Montgomery buried one right before the half. Granted, it was after the whistle, after the buzzer. But he's got the speed and athleticism and two-way ability. That was the spark play that they needed. I'm sure they'd love the one, but the two would have just amped up their whole team.
Now, if you're the Cannons, do you go at Rob Pennell here?
You have to.
Nolting, doorstep dunk.
Or you don't.
Largest lead of the game for the Cannons. Time running out for the Redwoods. Down 8. Dennis again forced it. Everett pass. This one trickles behind. Almost went in. Pat Aslanian's there. Stout calling for it. They'll slam the brakes, get settled.
Oh, we had an Aslanian to Aslanian connection.
Holman. Big save, Troutner. Up ahead to Pennell. Does he have the legs? No.
And he doesn't have any trailers.
Pennell spun around and still able to score as he limps off the field. Warrior.
Lefty, Romar.
18-11. Right inside, Troutner sends it back. Center marked by Tierney. Plenty of time to shoot with the new 30. And now the Cannons will milk some clock.
Watch it, watch it, Mark.
Holman dips underneath. Ball on the ground. Perkovic scoops.
This is where you got to run if you're Redwoods. You got Rogers.
There's Rogers. He's the trailer. Lost his man. Over to the wing. Long. Skip to Perkovic. Not able to get their shot. Rogers cranks. Kirst got a piece of it. It'll stay with the Redwoods. Boy, they had some opportunities, just couldn't get the shot off.
They're a little too hungry for twos right now. I think they're not taking the ones. You know, granted, I love the Montgomery take earlier, but in that possession, just get the two. Start to work your way into this gap.
Meanwhile, Kirst has 14 saves. He's better than 60%. He's played the whole game. Montgomery to Perkovic. Henningberg fires, bouncer, and that will reset the shot clock. Kirst got a piece. 16.4 to go in the quarter, and the Redwoods can hold for one. Rogers over to Nakai. Inside, he lands in the crease. 7.7 seconds. Cannons get a two here. You get the sense California may not recover.
Yeah, it's a great defensive recovery there by Campbell. We've spoken so much about his offense.
2 seconds, 1 second. Drenner lets it fly too high. Colin Kirst, 7 of 9 in that third quarter as the Cannons extend.
How much time in the original penalty? Hey, I'm fresh for D here. If we need it. If someone comes, I got it. Oh. It's not mine. It's just a slash. I'm not good yet. I'm not good yet. No.
You want to wrap it?
No, I just got. It's not getting better.
Or do you want to try to wrap it?
No, it's not really going to do anything. Oh.
I'm here with Rob Pennell. Rob, clearly, invisibly, you're in a lot of pain. How are you managing to stay out there on the field?
I just, it's win or go home. Love to compete. It's a lot of fun out here. Great atmosphere. Just, trying to last as long as I can. Know that you rest after the game.
What's it going to take for the Redwoods to make a comeback here?
They'll lock it down on defense and, maybe hit a couple two-pointers on offense. So we'll see.
All right, take care of yourself.
Pennell is not taking this face-off. It's going to be Brian Tevlin. And Ethan Rawl almost had it. And now Rawl comes away with it. Winner of this game advances to tomorrow's championship. Second semifinal coming up at 3 Eastern on ESPN+. The Philadelphia Water Dogs, who went 3-0 in round-robin play, against the Utah Archers, who went winless in round-robin play.
Good read there by Montgomery defensively.
1 to shoot. Campbell, hop step, shots blocked, but they say shot clock violation.
And here's the tough part. If you're Redwoods, you want to kind of pick this up and get going, but playing shorthanded, like how much gas do you have left in the tank?
Miazon and Eppel are out. That allowed the Redwoods to add Kyle Long. Tierney's banged up, and so is Rob Pennell. Looking for Montgomery, and now every possession is precious. Montgomery gets knocked to the ground, and we're going to have a loose ball push on Boston. Shot clock reset. Fairman now down for Boston. It's become a battle of attrition here for a number of teams. I saw Utah, they've been down a couple of guys, and Matt Moore is out today.
And Stout came flying in here. I'm wondering, yeah, he kind of collided with Fairman as well as Holman. How about the energy that Stout plays with? He's not making a lot of friends on any other teams, given his style.
He's somebody who is competing for a roster spot this summer. Here comes Pennell. Keeps his balance, finds Henningberg, one more to Tevlin, flagged out.
Block him. Cannon's foul, number 7. Direct shot to the head, 1 minute, full-time serve.
Well, that's the other way Redwoods can get back in this is
full time, so that's non-releasable.
Yeah, high, right to the head of Pennell.
And the goal counts, so the goal by Tevlin counts. It's 18-12, and now you're the Redwoods. You want an early shot here. You want a second possession, but it's going to be the Cannons who will have the ball here, so after the goal.
So Cannons can kill 30 of this seconds of this penalty.
So I guess you can't do that then,
Well, I would expect Redwoods to call timeout, try to get the ball up quickly, and then call timeout to maximize the remainder of that power play.
Are you trying to double the ball here, force a turnover?
Risk-reward. I think with the personnel you have, like you're already pretty short-handed, like if you had fresh bodies.
Maybe.
They had their power play unit on the field pretty much, so they could just get up and play. They don't need that timeout that I referenced.
Pennell out there with Dennis, Perkovic, Tierney, and Henningberg. Skip pass. Tierney can't handle it, and that is a costly turnover. Nope, tipped.
And they're all just around the perimeter. Cannon's wisely defending the 2.
Dennis over to Pennell. He fires. And he misses.
And that's where I think just take the 1, right? You're hunting 2s, understandably so, but Cannons defensively are kind of out there so far. Pretty hard to get a quality look-off respond with just taking the 1 and cutting into the 6-point margin.
The Cannons are essentially giving you the 1.
Exactly.
Nolting. It looked like he had the inside roll, didn't take it now, goes back to it, and puts it home.
And he's got some words for Troutner afterwards.
Oh, they had a nice exchange a few nights ago.
It's kind of taken out of context. I don't think people realize they were former teammates and
friends.
Yes.
Dennis, save cursed. Tevlin on the rebound, and that's a 2. Campbell's 2. That was a quick shot early, and if you're the Redwoods, you don't need a 2 here. You get a 1, then it's a 2-possession game. Timeout by Chris Collins.
Yeah, based on the scribbles that I could see from the whiteboard of John Grant Jr., that's exactly what they're going to try and do and end up with the ball in Jules' hand. He's going to start with it, but they want to kick it, switch sides, move the ball.
Pennell from X. Lower half right now, a little compromised. Right quad, left knee, hurting. Pennell shovels. Henningberg inside. RP3 still has that Lacrosse IQ.
They did a great job spatially there, giving him the whole left side of the cage to operate. When the slide did finally come, it came from Henningberg, not a 2-point shooter, correctly moved the ball.
That's the great thing about a guy like Pennell. Injured, banged up, but still able to play chess out there. Nolting, twister, and now the Cannons a couple of times here. Had the quick shot by Campbell. Nolting forced one. The Redwoods very much in this.
Still don't need a 2. You got to play with some pace, but a 1 is still fine here.
Dennis bull dodge. Roaring behind the cage. Tevlin's got a 2 today. Rogers dumps it to Dennis, less than 10 to shoot. Romar with a high bouncer, and again, not much of an angle. That was a tough shot. Kirst was there.
If you're Cannons, you've had some empty possessions here. You're allowing the Redwoods to get into this lead. You need a quality look. The Campbell-Cavanaugh two-man game has been a consistent staple.
Go left.
Campbell this time to Holman. He's been quiet today. Nolting's had a big game. 6 points, 8 points, a game high. Back to Holman. Yes, upstairs.
Right on cue. Nolting to Holman. Nolting's ability to distribute anytime he draws a double team. He's got 4 assists on the day.
11 now in the Champ Series. Perkovic over to Dennis. Redwoods down 5. Winner to the championship on Monday. Tierney running out of an angle. Saved by Kirst. And Kirst cat-like out of the cage. And now, if you're the Cannons, you can bleed some clock. It's a 3-possession game, 17 saves for Colin Kirst.
He has stood on his head. As Tierney dropped his stick, he stayed big, didn't go down. Waiting for that low to high release.
A goal here, and Nolting gets it. That is a 2, and that might have put this out of reach.
Yeah.
Dennis forced one. It goes back to the Cannons, who are 2 minutes away from playing in the championship game.
Yeah, that little 3-goal spurt by the Cannons.
Boston turns it over. How about Asher Nolting today? 11 points, pair of 2s, 3 goals, 4 assists.
And his first 2s of the tournament. But he was the key to that 3-goal run, feeding Holman and then burying that 2-pointer himself.
Timeout by the Redwoods. And Perkovic, the trigger man, met by a double, dislodged. It will stay with the Woods. Perkovic's had a tough game. No points, 4 shots. Henningberg's shot is blocked. And the Cannons can see the finish line. Campbell playing keep away. Henningberg tried to wrap check him. Now Holman gets around Rogers. Exclamation point.
If you're gonna pressure us, we're gonna bury one, right? This is the kneel down.
Dennis set the other end. Fairman got in the way of it. There's Kirst. Dennis knocks it away. Pops it into the air. Romar recovers. Double team, triple team. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch, Dennis. 44 seconds to go, and the Cannons will just kill the clock here.
I think judging by his reaction, and he's heeled over on the bench, I think Holman was the one that ate that Dennis shot. Second time he's closed out on a 2-pointer.
Boston, after scoring 12 last night, 23 today.
We'll be civil here, Ryan.
Eating a Romar Dennis shot, Ryan, doesn't go down nearly as nice as the meal we had the other night at Albee.
That was fantastic.
Final seconds. And the Boston Cannons will play in the final of this championship series. Redwoods never led in this game. Cannons led wire to wire, and they'll get either Utah or Philadelphia. Asher Nolting, man of the match, 11 points. Dana Boyle with Colin Kirst.
Colin, 17 saves, just stood on your head back there in cage. How are you seeing the ball so well?
Credit to the guys in front. I think last night was a bit of a wake-up call, and luckily had another opportunity to get back at it, and the boys played great.
You mentioned last night you did face some adversity. What was the messaging coming into today's game?
It's win or go home at this point. So you know, luckily got that out of the system, hopefully, and you know, looking forward to tomorrow.
You live to see another day. We'll see you tomorrow. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Colin Kirst was magnificent. He comes from what is now the first family of lacrosse. They're the modern-day Stanwicks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chernolting just played his best game of this champ series. As we said, 11 points. He's standing by with Dana.
Asher, man of the match out there, 11 points. How'd you get it done?
Yeah, you know, we last night was pretty embarrassing for this organization. We just didn't give our best effort, and we came in fired up. We played a lot of really good team ball today, and I think that was the key to the game.
There was some trash talk between you and Troutner. What was that about?
That's my current roommate in life, and then that's also one of my college teammates, so it's all love. You know, if people could have watched High Point practice back in the day, we would have said a lot worse, so it's always fun.
Well, thanks for censoring it for all of us. Congratulations. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
In game one, the first semifinal, it's the Cannons over the Redwoods. Our championship field will be set in a few hours. We'll talk to you at 3 p.m.